Hey brother, welcome back to this Making of a Nice Guy series. I want to talk to you in this video about the drama triangle. This is something that I learned about after reading No More Mr. Nice Guy, after hiring a men's coach, after being on this journey for a while, and I want to just share it with you right up front. The drama triangle has a few characters in it, of people that we can be and roles that we can play. And it also involves other people, because in this drama triangle, we can find ourselves embroiled in a drama with another person. And we find ourselves either playing the role of victim, the role of villain, or the role of hero. Or we can find the role of not just our hero, but trying to save somebody else, trying to save another person. So I guess maybe you could say also savior. So what happens is when we get into this drama triangle, what happens is we actually start moving and shifting from role to role. We might start out as the victim and we might put somebody else in the villain role. We might move over to the savior or other role there where we try to save the other person, but because the other person is feeling put upon, and they put themselves into the victim role, and then we become the villain. And so we can kind of shift around and move. And what we want to do is pay attention to when we find ourselves in these roles, when we find ourselves in a powerless, dependent state where we've told ourselves a story and now we're living into that story as the victim of that story. And in being the victim, we need a villain. So we've made the other person the villain of the story. And what we want to do is we want to step outside of that. We don't want to be any of those roles. We actually want to be the hero in our own story. We want to remove ourselves from victim and recognize that we're not powerless and we're not dependent and we're not a victim, and that we can actually be a creator of the life that we want for ourselves. We can actually be the hero of our own story. We can be our own hero, and we can actually be the guide to others. We can demonstrate by example how to lead ourselves and to show others what that looks like, and to model for them something maybe that they haven't had in their own life, and we can help guide those people. We're not responsible for their thoughts, their feelings, their desires, their decisions in life, but we can lead ourselves and invite them to follow or invite them to join us on that journey. And so this is what I want to talk to you about, because when we do this, as we become the creator, we actually have to say, well, how do I do that? How do I become the creator in my life? And we have to recognize that in order to do that we have to let go of some things. We have to let go of some self-limiting beliefs. We have to recognize the stories that we're telling ourselves that's keeping us trapped, that may be dragging us back into that victimized state, that victimized mindset, that powerless, dependent role that we've been playing. We may have some stories that makes the other person the villain, and we want to actually identify those and be able to challenge them, to be able to choose them, to actively be able to consciously, intentionally choose how we want to spend our life, who we want to be and where we want to go and what we want to do and who we want to spend our time with and what we want to experience. We want to know that we have choices, that we can make choices for ourselves, and that it's okay to make choices for ourselves, that we're not bad for wanting things and we're not bad for caring for ourselves. And in fact, when we do that, we become happy and whole and healthy, and we give that version of ourselves to the people in our life, to our romantic partner, to our kids, to our coworkers and boss and clients and friends and extended family and strangers on the street. So we want to be able to do this for ourselves and also for the other people in our life. And so that's what I want to invite you into. I want to invite you into a conversation where you can tell me what your beliefs are about yourself. What are your self-limiting beliefs? What are the stories that you tell yourself? What are the set of rules, operating instructions that you've been living by, that have been producing the results that you've been getting? And let's talk about that and let's unpack it. I want you to be able to tell me your story. I'm going to ask you some clarification questions so you can get really clear on what it is that you believe. You can actually challenge that and say, is that true? And do I want to believe that? And how is that serving me? We'll actually talk about those things, and I'll share some of my insights and my perspective, some of my journey with you. I'll share some of the insights of the men that I work with. I'll point to resources where you can start to surface your own answers for yourself. And when we're done, you're going to have a better understanding of where you want to go. Even if you don't have all the answers in that moment, it's still going to be a transformational call. So there's a link in the description where you can pick a day and a time that works best for you to schedule a 1-hour call. We'll talk with each other, we'll walk with each other, and I can guarantee you by the end of that, you'll be transformed, because you can't unknow, you can't unsee, you can't become aware of the things that you'll become aware of on that call. All right, brother, until we talk, I want to remind you to be kind to yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.